Congress has done more than Bart Stupak to really peel away the layers of the onion that are really hiding this explosion of speculation in the oil's futures market. And I appreciate his work and his work on the Pump Act that was introduced last week to really bring some sunshine to this. I want to make 4 points. First, when the Saudi oil minister tells you you have a problem with oil prices, you know you've got a problem. When Jose Canseco tells you have a problem with steroids in baseball, you know you have a problem. When the Saudis tell you have a problem in the oil markets, you know you have a problem. So I'm happy we're here today to discuss that. Second, the approach that we have taken, both with this hearing and Mr. Stupak's pump bill, is to actually do something that can have an effect on prices in the relatively short term. Some people have suggested drilling in some of the most pristine areas in the country, even if it succeeded, is 20 or 30 years away, something our grandchildren could possibly enjoy, but we would not. Ending rampant speculation in the oil's future market has the capability of doing something for us who are approaching ARP age and above. And that is why it's appropriate for us to get to something that can actually have an impact today, this year, rather than something several decades hence. Third, those who have argued that somehow we need to have all of this enormous liquidity in the market in order for the markets to function, ignore the charts that Mr. Stupak has put up, showing that the markets are drowning in liquidity. To argue that we need more liquidity is something like arguing the Iowa farmers need more liquidity in Iowa right now. We have a flood of liquidity in the market. We've had an explosion of speculative positions in these markets as opposed to real physical risk associated with this. And it is clear that we have a problem in part because of the Enron loophole. And this is the fourth point I want to make. We really have seen this movie before. I'm from the Seattle area. And a few years back, because Congress willfully turned a blind eye, more importantly, the administration turned a blind eye to manipulation of markets in the Enron scandal, it cost my constituents literally $1 billion in the West Coast of the United States. And we remember very well arguing with the administration that the executive branch of the government had some obligation to rein in this speculative manipulation of the market that was taking place in the dark. And the response by the administration is no problem. There is no problem. And I was reminded of a conversation when I heard Secretary Bodman yesterday say, or day before yesterday, saying there's just no evidence of speculation in this market. And so a little bell went off in my head. Where have I heard that before? Well, I heard it when we went to Vice President Cheney years ago, and I pled with him to take action in the original Enron scandal because it was obvious that there was a problem in these markets. It was obvious somebody was gaming the system and that speculation found a way to, in fact, had a price result. And I showed him a piece of paper showing that actually 32% of all the generating capacity in the United States was turned off one morning when there were brownouts in California. And I asked him for relief. I asked the Vice President to do something to rein in this speculative manipulation that was obviously going on. And I'll never forget, because he looked at me and he says, you know what your problem is? You just don't understand economics. Well, I think it turned out that we did understand economics, and I think we do understand liquidity, and we do understand excessive speculation, and we now understand what happens when we remove the protection of the consumers by creating this Enron loophole. And we are experiencing the results of that today. So I am very appreciative of the Chairman's peeling back and shedding a little light. We know one thing, here's one economic principle that I know, bad things happen in the dark. And that's where these markets are right now, are in the dark. And it's time to shed a little light on them, and I'm looking forward to this hearing. Thank you.
I thank the gentleman. Next, Mr. Walden for